All right, so what we're gonna do is I've let our basement go without a dehumidifier running for about a day. It's been pretty wet and rainy outside, so the basement's getting up to about 47% humidity. I usually like to be in the low 40s, so this will be a good test for this. I do have my watt meter hooked up, so we're gonna see how much this costs to run, as well as seeing how quickly this bucket fills up and if it's effective in reducing the humidity in the home. So I've got my humidity gauge on the other side of the basement, and it's at about 47% now. That is running every hour. It's going to tell me what the humidity is. So we're going to see if this thing is working well or not. So let's go ahead. We're going to plug this in and get it fired up. And you can see that little louver opening up. And we're going to turn it on. Now it didn't start right up because it's saying that the humidity is at a low enough level where it doesn't need to run. So we're going to change our setting to 40%. And it should kick on. So I could hear the compressor kick on. It's actually a very quiet unit. It is on low, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it up to high and let this thing run for a full 24 hours.
So this dehumidifier runs at just under 500 watts, but the nice thing is it will completely shut off and go into a standby mode when it is not in use. Now when it's not in use, it goes into this P1 mode, which basically means that the compressor is off, but the fan is still spinning, and this allows it to kind of thaw out a little bit. Now by pushing these two buttons simultaneously, it activates the louver system, which is supposed to aid with airflow in the home.
So one thing that I've noticed that's pretty neat is a lot of the Frigidaire products will only show you in 5% increments what the indoor humidity is, and this one will actually show you right down to the single digits, which is pretty neat. I like being able to see that. The other big difference is, and I'm going to guess that this is more efficient over a long period of time than the Frigidaire's, because this thing will actually shut off entirely like it is right now, whereas the Frigidaire's will shut off for like 5 seconds and then they kick the fan back on. So when it's in this kind of resting state that it's in, we are only pulling 0.7 watts. And as you can see, it is keeping the humidity in check. So it's not that it's not doing anything. It is keeping it at its 44 to 45% humidity. So we'll follow back up in a little bit and see how it's doing.
So we have our humidity chart here from the basement. It started off 45, went up to 47, and then this dropped it all the way to 41% and held it there continuously. When the bucket is full, you get a FL flashing symbol.
That's really cool. So after using this thing for about 4.5 days now, it has cost me a total of $1.70 in electricity to run, which is really not bad at all considering my Frigidaire, which was a 50 pint, cost about $1.10, something like that, for 1 day of operation. Now, one thing to consider is that as I'm testing this, it's not full on summer yet. So it's probably not as humid in the basement as it typically would be. So that's something to keep in mind. But as far as everything else goes, this is like, you know, right up there. It competes with the big dogs. It does have that little viewing window down there, so you know when it's getting full. And then the screen will tell you when it's full as well. So those are all features you'd expect. It is Energy Star rated. And if we run around to the back here, you can see it does have right down there, it's got that little cap that screws off if you want to hook up the hose that it comes with. And I think it was probably a couple feet long, that hose was. Also easy access to that filter. That's really easy to get to. Just pop this off, and this is the actual filter here, is right on the door itself. And then you've got access for cleaning if you need to. And then the other thing I like is half the year this will be stored away, so it does have the little cord wind at the bottom there. But definitely my favorite feature, which is kind of something silly, but it is neat, is just this door here, this top little vent cover louver that opens and closes. I don't know why, but I just think that's cool. It also has a setting that I've never seen on any of my other dehumidifiers, which is right here. And that is a button that before you put this away for the summer, or if you're just not going to use it for a while, when you click that button, it actually dries out the internals of the unit, and it keeps it from having any mold or anything growing inside of it while you have it in storage, which I think is a really cool feature. Yeah, it does have this little carrying handle, which is nice, and I use this to carry it downstairs. Felt very sturdy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link this down in the description, where to buy it, how much it is. Again, this is a company before this that I really hadn't heard of, but a good, efficient, and fairly inexpensive dehumidifier. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe for more videos.